We're in the middle of the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. 760,000 workers have lost their jobs just since the beginning of this year. Businesses, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. Businesses and families can't get credit. Home values are plummeting. Here in Florida, you know what's happening in terms of foreclosures. Pensions are disappearing. It's gotten harder and harder to make the mortgage or fill up your gas tank or even keep electricity on at the end of the month. Just today, we learned that the gross domestic product, a key indicator economists use to measure the health of our economy, has actually fallen for the first time this year. That means we're producing less, we're selling less. Our economy is actually shrinking. Florida's in its first recession in 16 years. Across the country, we saw the largest decline in consumer spending in 28 years, as wages failed to keep up with rising costs of living, and folks have to watch every penny, tighten their belts. Now, all this didn't happen by accident. Our failing GDP is a direct result of a failed economic theory, of 8 years of trickle-down, Wall Street first, Main Street last policies that have driven our economy into a ditch. And the central question in this election is, what will our next president do differently? How will the next president take us in a different direction? Now, Florida, if you want to know where John McCain will drive this economy, you don't need to boo, you just need to vote. If you want to know where John McCain will drive this economy, just look in the rearview mirror. Because when it comes to our economic policies, John McCain has been right next to George Bush. He's been sitting there in the passenger seat ready to take over every step of the way. Voting for the Bush tax cuts for the wealthy that he once said he opposed. Voting for the Bush budgets that sent us reeling into huge deficits and huge debt. Calling for less and less regulation. 21 times just this year, John McCain has said we need to deregulate the financial industries, right at a time when we know that it's because of deregulation that Wall Street was able to engage in the kind of irresponsible actions that have caused this financial crisis. In fact, after 21 months and 3 debates, John McCain has still not been able to tell the American people a single major thing that he would do differently from George Bush when it comes to the economy. Think about it. Think about it. You know his attacks on me, but you have no idea how he would do anything differently from George Bush because he doesn't have any ideas that are different from George Bush when it comes to the economy. So you've got to ask yourself, after 9 straight months of job losses, the largest drop in home values on record, wages lower than they've been in a decade, why would we keep driving down this dead-end street? Folks who can't pay their medical bills or send their kids to college or save for retirement, they can't afford to take a back seat to the CEOs in Wall Street banks for another 4 more years. At a moment like this, the last thing we can afford is 4 more years of the tired old economic theories that says we should give more and more to billionaires and corporations and hope that prosperity trickles down on everybody else. Last thing we can afford is 4 more years where no one in Washington is paying attention to what's going on Wall Street and lobbyists kill common sense regulations. Those are the theories that got us into this mess. They haven't worked. It is time to change drivers. It is time to have somebody else at the wheel. That's why I'm running for President of the United States of America.